Good morning. Hey, look, 6,100. We'll see if it rejects. Hmm. Thank you so much, Yaga. Yeah, I was wondering where you went. Has it just been like crazy at work? Or is it back to office? Hmm. Best soft launch ever. Yes, you have, lol. Gherkin the team cranking the soft goods, quite literally. Yeah. I'm going to sign an 8-figure deal with a Fortune 500 client. Oh, cool. Does it come with like sweet bonuses? Or is it just more work, same amount of money kind of deal? Can you tell us where we are? Dorito of Doom. Always inside it because Jimmy will never go to $400 again. Ooh, rejected. What's up, Nuclear? Mr. Nuclear. Sorry. I forgot it was your birthday. So you're older now. I dipped into SPX chat to see how all the new kids like GS, and the first thing I see is AJ asking JFresh to clarify what strikes are. Classic AJ. No, Not yet. We don't have like merch and shit yet, but we're working on it. We're gonna have like we'll have like a page or something. And I can live with a bunch of fucking hats and hoodies and boxes in my house, which is what I needed. More house boxes. We'll work same comp with the dangling carrot. You know how corporates are. Yep. Yeah, there's no need for other subscriptions for GS to function. So if they don't breach 6100 by the time the MI data comes out, it's likely our top for today. Pretty likely, yeah. Speaking of that, Michigan sentiment prelim 67.8 versus 71.8 forecast. That's not great. And then inflation expectations are definitely fucking elevated. Yep, 3.3, 4.3. Holy shit! Is that a misprint? You guys are knocking out of the park with Gamma Strike. Any sneak peek of future features in the pipe? Knock out of the park. Um, not yet. I think the first focus is going to be getting the tools and services for the intermediary tier balanced out and deployed. And then we're just going to start adding shit. Thank you, Max. Wait, when do I get a super chat? Is this crime? No. This hat is XXXL. XXL? XXL. Me too, Yukon Cornelius. Me too. Yeah, the on-demand print services are kind of like the materials they use are super shitty. McCaz, welcome to Zillionaire, man. Thank you so much. Hit me up on the Discord. I'll get you added after the stream, dude. Rip the banks. Yep. Gamma Strike just paid for itself 10x. Thanks. You got it, man. Is live data Greeks only for SPX right now? We intend to add. Next up is going to be probably Spy and QQQ. And we'll consider IWM. And then over time, the Mag 7. Or, whatever happens to be the top, like, 10 options, equity options chains. And we can rotate those. Hey, Gherk, I just made a good amount of money. Thanks, man. No problem. It's almost like someone told you exactly what was going to happen this morning. Hmm. All right, Glorp, how low are we going? Let me look. We probably found a little bit of support there at 80. 85 was the negative gamma out on the monthly chain, but 80 was still pretty positive. Looks like oh no, we slipped 63. Hmm. Shit. Big pile of sold calls came in 60.75 on the drop. Sold puts at 60.50. Bought puts at 80. We're selling some puts at 60 too. So they probably try to stabilize this above gamma neutral for now. 60, 70 are fairly significant supports. And then upside resistance at 75.80. Live data. So, hey, Greg, I just made a good amount of money. Nope. I read the report. It's legit. First time in 14 years, a 1% or more increase has happened. That's crazy. Aren't you like 14 inches tall? What about it? Rude. Thanks for all the hard work. Cheers to making money together. No problem, man. Thank you. It's available. You can You can go. There's a link in the announcements channel on the Discord. Mick has. Now we V. I don't know about V. A lot of puts got bought there. There's definitely upside resistance now, and gamma at spot is negative. Wow, just slightly positive. Slightly positive at this strike at 75. Yeah, negative at 80 though. So it's gonna be hard to probably hard to move up from here. Gamma bottoms out around 60.50. Peaks at 6,100. I would say if they could get it above 85 again, we could retest 61. But that's a pretty big blow to the bulls here. No, I just predicted that we could reject off of 6,100. And the bulls would push for it first thing in the morning. It wasn't a crazy prediction. No problem, Kaz. 14 inches tall, laying on his stomach. I wish. 75 was the only positive strike in this area before the data dropped too. Figured there were already some in the money sold calls like yesterday. Well, part of the neutral positioning was there. I think some of those sold calls are getting bought back right now, but there's still quite a lot of them. Like 5,000. It's a big position. To the downside, it's kind of weird. Like a weird spread. 60, 50, 40. There's bot calls at 40, sold puts at 50. So like a, I don't know. Like a short combo? No. Long combo? Long combo? But backwards? I guess that would be just profitable to the upside. Yeah. Net credit and profitable to the upside. Am I selling the 75 here? Not like what on the put side? Not very aggressively. Looks like puts are being bought and calls sold at 95. Remember, gamma bottoms out at 50. Am I still shadow banned? I don't know if you ever were. I can see you though. Thank you, benevolent data god. You know what was really cool on Gamma Strike is that Delta was negative into the upside test this morning. which could have given you like a nice hint that positioning could reverse. And then now, you can see a little bit of support at like 50. Let me go this way. There's like a little bit of support here at 55 on the downside. And then if we lose that, straight drop into 50. Just scalp the shit out of Goog there. How? Because Gamma Strike showed me how far above GNDN price is this morning and how close to Gamma Max it is this morning. So I was in puts when I needed to be. Thanks, Gamma Strike. Fuck yeah, Willie. That's awesome, man. I'm gonna steal this and give it to the marketing team. Why are yields up so much? What happened? Unemployment went down. Wages went up. And then Michigan consumer inflation expectations skyrocketed. Which actually I think is a mistake, but I'll take it. I thought it was shadow banned, but it turned out it was just overcast. Little weekly GN bounce here. Yep. Almost tested the monthly. This may not be very significant given yesterday's bounce off of GN. Like this is the second test in like the last half a session. Why red candle, Dad? Michigan inflation expectations went from 3.3 and 3.4 expected to 4.3. Consumer sentiment fell and 5-year inflation expectations moved up a bit. Yeah. I think it's wrong. I think it's because of the tariffs, which have, not come to be. But it's survey based, so it's all like delayed information. Which means we should probably be on the next lookout for the next Michigan report to come in significantly lower. Provided we don't actually get tariffs between now and then. Are the GNs usually this close? When you start to get above GN, they get pretty close together. As you move further away from GN, usually the weekly neutral will pull up closer to spot. Wait, did I not change the image for the thing? What are you talking about? What live banner? Is this last night's dork table? No, that's a different video. Oh, speaking of which, for you guys that weren't around last night. Okay.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Huh. I just made like 75 bucks fucking with a meme. Thanks, rejection at Gamma Flip. Boom. After watching that, I want it. Your marketing team is on point. That was a fun video. That's correct, Taco Squire Gordon. Yeah. We've got to do a lot of optimization for mobile still. It's still a beta. Part of me wants to see Gherk stream with GS instead of TradingView all day. Fair. Looky here. Everyone said win GS for months and years. We did a beta release in September. Is Give a Straight used in conjunction with another charting platform or replace it? It's far from a replacement right now. So, I mean, I still use TradingView, but we're working on that. Ideally, it will be a one stop shop. Infinite Atrophy, welcome to Billionaire, man. Thank you so much, dude. Hit me up on the Discord. I'll get you added after the stream. Poopy's been exceptionally quiet today. It's because he's busy using Gamma Strike. Live data for SPX support. I can't trade that. Is QQQ live available? No, but they will be. QQQ and SPY will be the next two that we add. Um, I mean, the correlation between SPX SPY is pretty tight, generally speaking. So you can trade relatively the same price action and levels. I mean, I can pull up SPY here. I use SPX data to. I've been using SPX data to trade ES, but there's really no significant difference in the price action, right? Like if we break up here to test like the delta flip, like we're gonna see the same move on SPY that we see on SPX. If we get rejected and fall back below the gamma flip, you're also gonna see that reflected here. So while we don't have those yet, the data is not useless in regards to that positioning. There are differences though. Spy's price action can. There can be some arb between SPX and SPY due to NAV, and SPX is based on a calculation of like the total value of individual shares of all the S&P 500 companies, whereas like SPY has to make its NAV, and so they can skew a little bit, but it's usually very short lived. But you can wait till we add SPY and QQQ. Those are on the docket. So all right, time for a technical dump. How are we gonna manage super stonk idiots? What do you mean? They can go look up all the GME data they want. Like we have GME options data, fucking all the way back to like Jan 2022 right now, and then I think in dev we have it all the way back to like 2020 or 2021. Might be 2020. And we're gonna be backfilling those as time goes on. So TV is an amazing product. For us to surpass it in functionality would require a metric fuck ton of work, and is an entire product in itself. I know. So we'll get cracking now. Get a head start. I'm subbing Monday. It's just the right thing to do. Good old stubbornness. I like it. Spite subscription. I canceled my gym membership for it. You don't need to go to the gym when you're gooning 24/7. Hey Gherk, why did I roll my CCs a day too early? Atomic every week. Is Fubo up again today? No, it's down. Yeah, why? Fine, right? Isn't this the same as yesterday? Bounce off monthly GN. It is a bounce off monthly GN, but it's substantially weaker than yesterday's bounce. Part of the screen is gamma neutral, delta neutral. These two lines here, where it says GNW, GNM. This is the SPXW chain. That's the monthly chain. So these two blue lines right here. You see that, Nuke? Hmm. Stopped out 930 in profit. Pretty solid for the morning. Nice, Godfrey.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey.
Gamma back to negative. Whoosh. Splooge.
Hey.
So, yeah, I just traded that again on MNQ. Picked up some more money. So, I mean, you can use the SPX data to trade other instruments, but it's not ideal. I'll agree with that. 2021, the year of GS inception. True. Well, the start. You can roll out all the fancy programming you want, but you're not going to convince me that you're not a wizard. Thanks. The coolest part of it all is that a bunch of retards on the internet found each other and built something amazing. It's true. This like puts WoW clans to shame. Point to the 10-12 candle in relation to gamma neutral weekly. Right here? Wait, hold on. That didn't, the 10-12 candle didn't test it. The first test was at 10-13. And then like 7th, well, technically I guess 16, 17, 18. 18 bounced off of it. GS live trading is so fun. This is fucking wild. I love you. There's documentation that we're going to be trying to get out to you guys this week, and there's a shitload of it. And that'll be available to everybody on like the landing page, but we're getting it put into the website now. It's quite a lot of it. JFresh went ham and wrote like 10,000 words. Nope, didn't see anything. Looks good to me. It's been a great year. Hopefully many more to come. Looking forward to seeing Gamma Strike. Thanks, man. I just combined gooning and working out, prepping for clothing optional 5K by running in the buff. Fantastic. And do you find that the manscaping gives you that extra aerodynamic edge? On Android, if you turn the phone horizontal, it lets expand the left sidebar and then scroll down to live data. Live is usable in horizontal, not so much vertical standard. Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you guys are using it on mobile, it's going to work a lot better in landscape mode. Dork's not using GS, he's building it. Portrait mode is never going to feel amazing with candlestick charts. No, it's not. Will the GS startup screen have a daily stream card? No, unfortunately not. Unless you want to personally take care of that top lift. That's true, yeah. Dirk did have one sick fucking trade the other
Someone
day.
put their pickle in my jar. Any chance we break below
Any chance we break
6,050?
below 60-50?
Bears
Bears
got
got
horny
horny
off
off
that
that
drop
drop.
3.
We could. Probably need to build up a little bit more resistance here first. Like 75 is becoming a more significant resistance over time. So like if we don't cross over the gamma flip here, that might signal that we get a lower low and maybe a push below monthly GN. And if we get below monthly GN, we can drop harder than 50. I mean, 50 will be supportive, but we could keep going down. Don't forget, like, the ES 60, 78 level is really important. No, JFresh hates AI. Is there a way to get involved and help out? I mean, you can always DM your resume and your area of expertise, and as we add to the team, we're always looking to bring people in from the pickle jar first. So I mean, yeah, you can reach out. Feel free. I can't say that there'll actually be anything, at least in the near term, available, but potentially over time. Is it worth loading up with WYRYNPCH other timber REITs due to the LA rebuild? Potentially, yeah. I mean, also any trade issues with Canada. I got kind of a sloppy inverse head and shoulders here. Break above 75, I'm pretty sure, is going to be kind of bullish, but I don't know if we'll get out above the delta flip. Yeah, this is a little higher high off this, so 75 is still resistance, which you can see down here. There. Rip Gurk, all poultry markets shut down in New York City. I have like 40 pounds of frozen chicken from Costco. I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the year. Not yet, Poopy. Absolutely not, Posty. But Mazel Tov. Congrats on launch. Looking forward to GS when things settle down. Thanks, man. Again, NVIDIA and GS is a correct interpretation that 130 is a major resistance due to sold calls. Could it break it? It could, yeah. If it does, that would be quite bullish. We can take a look at that. So yeah, you can see the very significant interest at 130. Now there's not a lot of delta to the upside besides like 135 and 140. But gamma's pretty positive, and the chain's picked up a massive amount of delta over the last couple of days. So the delta is there, supportive, and gamma's very positive. I would say on a break of 130, it could pretty easily get to like 135, 140. And as you can see, Vega exposure increases pretty steadily all the way out to like the 140 strike. So you're going to get a fairly significant uptick in, the amount of delta due, well, the effect of IV on delta. On GS, are there any signs that would have indicated the 6100 rejection before it dumped? Yeah, the gamma flip was at like 6105. So we were still negative gamma into market open and into that 6100 test where we then failed. And this was very broad, which means that price can move through that range very quickly. Like the gamma and delta flip, which it did basically, right? Like it rejected. Hold on, I'm gonna move this here so I can draw on it. Get rejected here and moved just straight down to test the gamma flip. Hold on, I gotta fuck with this. There you go. It's not a lower high. It's slightly higher, but it's a lower than the initial high. So it's lower than this, higher than this. It's better actually. Sorry. Oh, I just shorted another failure of the gamma flip.
Hey,
Whee.
hey, hey,
A little bit of support there, 62-ish on the 60 support. See if that continues down. I mean, okay, so here's some good validity. I've just shorted the gamma flip on NQ 3 times and made $185 4 times. No, I'm showing you the P&L. Here's all the trades. So, yeah, it's good enough. I mean, I'm just doing it with 3 contracts. If you want to make more money, more contracts.
hey, 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 hey,
The upside?
hey, hey. Hey,
You're shorting it as it falls through? Yeah, well, now I'm going long as it breaks out. It breaks out. You're 67 and then maybe back to like 75-ish. Where it keeps running into resistance on the positive gamma. Struggling a little bit, but short vol's coming in. The yellow Gex line is getting steep on the downside. Yeah, but I mean its price is just able to move through this range easily. Right? Because positive gamma is added rapidly on the upside move, and negative gamma, like gamma falls off rapidly on the downside move. So this really doesn't indicate direction. It just indicates that price can move quickly in that range.
Hey. Hey.
The bulls have positive gamma here. They're probably going to try to short some vol and push higher if they can. It's going to be slow though. It's tough because the MM's still selling the down tick on the 0 DT. From Delta, not Gamma though. So this is where you run into a situation where like Delta is a little bit of a resistance and Gamma is supporting the upside price action. And then NQ just tapped 21.8, which it might break through.
Hey.
Well, if this does break above 75, we'll start to get some upside momentum. As Gamma starts, or Delta starts to move more towards positive.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey. Hey.
Holy shit. News? Oh, there goes 50. All right, what happened? That's definitely news. Trump told Republican lawmakers he plans to issue reciprocal tariffs as early as Friday. Fuck. Hmm.
Hey.
Resistance at 50 here now. Gamma now negative on both the monthly and weekly chains. Is this going sub 6K? We'll see. Puts are pricing up like crazy. So we bounced off of just above delta neutral. If we lose that, then yeah, we could go to 6K today. GS can't warn you about presidential statements. It's options data. Ooh, it's gonna go down, huh? Very well could. It was pretty significant to lose gamma neutral. Later, OG rules. Gonna break 45? I don't think 45 is very significant. 40 and delta neutral definitely are. Delta neutral's right at like 60-30. Which I am currently successfully shorting. I'm up like 40%. Picked it up on the bounce. There's a little bit of support at 30, but below 30 there's like almost no support down to 6,000. Vol's still increasing pretty steadily. goes 40 a little bit. Five. Double bottom on 35. Fairly close. Any other commentary from Trump? Not so far. Left a gap to the downside on the bounce. Kind of close to testing the monthly GN. Just a bit about it. Alright. What's that? 56. Um, mm-hmm. 56, so $3 more. Resistance here. Getting up to the 55 strike. So we can fall back into 50, and then that can give us momentum to move down further. That filled the gap. Volatility picks up like under 45. Looks like they're selling the 25 pretty heavily. See how 25's like pulled down? The 25 and 30 strike IV is fairly flat. That's because the 25 is getting sold. Probably. Probably getting sold. U.S. chip curbs hit China harder than suspected as TSMC treads carefully. Monetary policy report. Inflation expectations appear broadly consistent with the Fed's 2% inflation objective. U.S. financial conditions continue to appear somewhat restrictive. Labor market remains solid and appears to have stabilized. The Federal Reserve will weigh data as it considers future policy moves. The Fed's strongly committed to achieving its 2% policy goal. Yay, good for them. Resistance at 50 again. Trump announced retaliatory tariffs by Friday of as early as Friday, so today, I guess. Or maybe it means next Friday. I'm not really sure. No direct announcement from Trump yet. Where's my motherfucking hat? In a box in my closet. I'll get them shipped out to you guys. Relax. Just keep them all for myself. I can have a different hat every day. Can you send us a return address in case the merch doesn't fit? Nope. How am I supposed to be a Mad Hatter without my hat? This is the wrong kind of hat for that particular role. I should wear 4 of them and spin around really fast like a helicopter. Oh my god. I'm gonna do that later. Don't tell me what it takes to be mad. Does Delta Neutral act as a hard support? No. If it's above Gamma Neutral, it can be supportive, but that basically never happens on SPX. Do you think the bulls fail here? Maybe. Vol's starting to go back up again as we fall. It ticks up pretty steadily. Looks like they're not selling too many puts. We'll see. 45 is like a little bit supportive. There's some sold puts here on at 50. It's basically all sold puts to the downside to like 60-20 is the next like major level. So if we keep falling into those, we could get kind of like a cascading effect like we got yesterday. We are getting some out of the money bot calls 55, 60, 65, and in the money bot calls 35, 40, 45, but there's not a lot of them. It's fairly few. Also at 60-40 is that weird weird pile of calls from earlier today. I don't know if those are actually still there. I think they are. But there's some bot puts at 40 as well. So long 3,700 calls, long 1,200 puts. Sold calls at 50, sold puts at 50. $55 test at resistance. Volatility is still coming down. Oop, we got a little breakup. Back above gamma neutral. Tested the gamma flip. Rejected. through the 60 test, with 55 being a little bit supportive. The gap 60-50, yeah, but we might just fail as we go to refill it. I think the market's like waiting on confirmation of what Trump said. Because right now it's just sources familiar, but not out of the horse's mouth, so to speak. Autistic activities detected? What the fuck is this? If he's supportive, a little bit. I mean, it's a local bottom. Hmm. Some of the bulls might be buying to close that 30 put they were selling. There's IV on it starting to move up quite a bit. Here comes the media capitulation. The timing of reciprocal tariffs is premature for today, but could be on the agenda next week. No one knows what Trump means, including Trump, so I don't know how they can make such definitive statements about him. They make the name assumption. Is that retest at 45? A little bit of momentum on this too. It looks like some of the short puts are pulling back. 35, 20. Getting spooked. Or sold at lower premiums. Getting fucked by the vol spike. So you guys can use, like, we don't give bought sold directly, but you guys can use the live IV tool to make some determinations. I just did. They were previously like selling the 30 and vol on it was dropping as we were moving up. They were selling it, and then vol, like, as we failed the 55 test, vol on it started spiking pretty hard, which was likely them buying it back. I mean, you have to. I mean, there's no way around it. You have to make some assumptions, but that is likely given the price action. Not a trick question. Are you standing or sitting? I'm sitting. Although, I guess you wouldn't know, except there's a chair behind me. Otherwise, I would have a chair actually strapped to my back like a backpack. Nah, one of those new standing chairs. Shh, don't give away all my secrets, Nuke. Don't give away Alpha. Ooh, 42. Let's see if overholding this put was worth it. Retest the trend. Gross. Very gross indeed. A little bounce. $20, 20 put being sold there. Put. Ooh, failed bounce. And a gap down. Exciting. Gap filled. Can I see the VIX real quick? It's a little bit stable for now. Futures don't look particularly bullish, specifically NQ. ES is trying to hang on to like the weekly close. But we already lost 60.78. Which should give us a move down to 60.48. That green line's the prior week's close. So it'd be red on the week if we fall into that. Can Bulls regain 60? It's quite hard right now. I mean, they kind of did for a second, and then we got like a pretty nasty rejection. And NQ looks like it's pushing for a lower low, even if ES is relatively stable. See how gamma's shifted, and now like 40's the low point. Hmm. Yeah, this is like kind of shaking off some of the pit sellers. One second. Glorp win? Good question. Maybe like 10 minutes? I don't know. It could be calls too. That's why you have the volume to look at. Holding supports for a long time under gamma neutral is difficult. Ooh-wee. If we can push down a little more here, we can start to squeeze more sold puts. Remember, all the deltas down here, if you look at the chart from this morning. Ah, you can just look at it now. So if we move down, the MM's going to be shedding all that delta on the downside. And speed picks up a bunch at like 35. All the way out to like 60-20. Which acts as kind of an accelerant to a downside move. We tested like 37 there. So a little bit lower low locally. Yeah, Vana also picks up. Big if, considering that whomever holds those positions is going to be reticent to get plowed. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why we just bounced off 37. But they're far more likely to get plowed with negative gamma on all three chains, right? They're the ones selling puts in a negative gamma environment. Can the buy the dippers still come in? Sure. Yeah. They're not because they're afraid to. So we're not getting a lot of strong reversals because it's dangerous. It's really dangerous to sell puts here. So there are some put sellers, but fewer, far fewer. And I mean, based on vol, the aggregate is people buying to close puts, not selling to open. Well, buying to close or buying to open, not selling to open. Yeah, push it. Let's go. That's totally fine, Dork. Who cares about the bond market? Ooh, we're gonna lose 37. Nice. Retest delta neutral. Do it. Yeah, I was right. It was like 10 minutes. Still got it. Back up to retest 37. Fail. Failure would be bearish. Good for a continuation. See, now 40 is a bit of a resistance. Because gamma goes up to the downside of 40. You can see there. Woo! Nice. Now we want to get over the hump at 35. And then we can fall off into 30, 25. It's slow, but I mean that's how it works. Gamma exposure. Hmm. A little more. There we go. See, we're just over that hump at 35. Now bulls are going to want to push for a lower low, or bears are going to want to push the lower low because I think 32.90 was our prior. Which opens up our delta neutral test at 30.
Hey.
It's a little one, but should be able to get back to 35, maybe. Maybe not. See how that moved down, like from 30 to 20 is flattening out. So now if 35 acts as resistance, which it shouldn't really, but it could, like 38, 37 is more likely to be where it is. But if it acts as resistance, the momentum to the downside is going to pick up more. What's not labeled? What the hell did I do? I need that a little brighter. On your screen, scroll down. That? You mean this? It just resets when the data resets. There has to be tons of trap positions way up the chain that expire today. Yeah, there are. And in fact, that contributes to the effective charm to the downside into expiration. Pushing back up to 37. If 37 gets rejected, back down again. Climb the positive gamma up into 35. If we break up through 40, a little bullish. Things get a little bit more bullish for a move out to like maybe like 50, 55. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I can grab something. What happens if we slip DN? Big bearish. Ooh, we just tested it. Yeah, falling below DN's bad. The MM stops dumping not just their gamma hedge, but their delta hedge on the downtick. Well, for the weekly contract, we're not below monthly DN. That's big bear. That's like a bear market. Remember, like every level we fall down, that supportive MM hedge is also falling off. Are we never gonna see WeBull again? I was just using it today because we launched today, Jeff. Would we call hedge be smart here if bulls need to defend DN? It looks like it's gonna fail, but yeah, having some out of the money positioning for mean reversion is usually a good idea once we start falling into like negative gamma, negative delta territory, because reversals are very swift. That's correct, Jay. Signups are open at the website, on the website. There. All right, everyone calm down. Jeff's gotten enough shaming. Permission to shill GS to people not in here, or should I hold off? If you could, because it's still in beta. I mean, could we get down to 6010? We could get down to 6,000 potentially. We want blood. It looks like this failure here might test, like fully test it. Oh, there we go. Broke through. Boom. See the effect of that? So cool. The Bulls might try to defend here. We'll see. But if they try to defend and fail, then a bigger downside continuation becomes more likely. Drop from the jobs report. Actually, no. We were fairly stable following the jobs report. And not really NFP. NFP was bullish, but unemployment and wage growth were not. Our first drop was Michigan consumer sentiment. The second one, Trump promising to announce tariffs at some point. I don't think anyone's quite sure when, but Where are we at on the meatball put leverage chart? Or what are we? Is equals defending? Boop. What data did you think was incorrect this morning? The Michigan consumer sentiment inflation data. Not that it's incorrect, but it's higher due to presumptions about tariffs, which have not been enacted because it's a survey and the data collection is slow. So when they were interviewing people, those people were worried about Trump enacting tariffs, which was a big fear 3-4 weeks ago, and is less so now because it appears like he's just bluffing. But now he's enacting them again. Yeah. Where are we at on the meatball put leverage chart? Like options macro? Most of the peak of like put leverage is like 40. Well, hold on. We're down 66 points today. So that's like 4% out of the money. Yeah, that's like 4% out of the money down here. Like 60, 9.68, 3.2% downside from today's open, which puts it around, what would that be? Like, like 58, 60, 58, 50. You also see there that like put delta ramps up like crazy if we fall below that level. So like from here, put delta just rockets. And it starts falling where we're like moving up where we're already at. So it's already kind of ticking up a bit. If we fail DN, you'll see the effect of that a bit more. So bounce, retested 45. This was prior resistance. So you gotta climb the positive delta back up to the upside. So I think we can probably fail from here. I just made $200 scalping the weekly DN defense. Thanks, Gamma Strike. How did you only make 200 on a $15 bounce? You corporate shell. That's gamma. The yellow line that you're looking at is gamma exposure at each strike. Which is also in the gray chart to the left, but without the line. The more gamma to strike, the harder it is to cross. That's relative to the environment you're trading in. But yes. Higher pockets of gamma tend to be more difficult to get across. But you're not thinking about them correctly. You have, you know, positive and negative gamma. And then you've got, your flip point in here. And behavior in a negative gamma environment is different than behavior in a positive gamma environment. In this environment, the MM buys the downtick, sells the uptick. In this environment, the MM sells the downtick, buys the uptick. And so down here, deeper negative gamma means price is likely to fall down into that level. And so we could use, we can kind of use, give me a second, this as an example. How far off is that? Okay. So if you're looking here, right, and we're in a negative gamma environment. So like here, this is very resistive where it's flat. Because the MM's really not doing anything there. Gamma's not being gained or lost to the upside. But if we start to move down, we're likely to move right into 40. And then if 40 is lost, gamma actually goes up into 35. And then back down again into 30. And so this peak will act as a minor support. And then these act as levels the price can kind of fall into off of that. And same here, if this gets rejected, we're going to go back to 40. If we continue to fail 40, we're going to go to 30. But in a positive gamma environment, right, this is highly resistive because the MM is selling as the price tries to climb up. So down here, price moves really easily back and forth. Up here, it's very hard for price to move down, but also difficult for it to move up. And so understanding, that's why we highlight positive and negative delta and gamma points on the intraday chain. Because and there's quite a bit of dip buying going on here, but I'll explain that in a second. Because the 0 DTE has so much gamma relative to the rest of the options chain that it's actually really important where they're positioned intraday. Yeah, 40's still holding. Not only that, You see this? Like the the market maker's hedge falling over time. This is because bullish positioning near spot is going up, right? So all of these dips are being bought, sold puts, bought calls, what have you, right? But they're all being bullishly positioned against. And that's dragging the MM's neutral, well, 0 point. It's not really neutral. 0 point towards spot. Now, if we were falling and this were going up, that would be extremely bearish. That would mean people are just piling into the downside. And then when trading above these, the opposite is true. So when you're in the positive environment up here, if these are moving down, actually it's the same is true, I guess technically. If these are moving down, that's very bullish. And if these start moving up towards spot and spot's up here, that's bearish. Ooh, we failed DN again. Nice. Fell back into the 30. We can move as low as 20. There's not a lot of resistance. Yeah, and in areas, especially in negative gamma environments, in areas where gamma's like relatively flat, right? Like you can see here between the 20 and 30 strike, there's really not a lot of relative change in gamma versus the much higher points on other strikes. So price can actually move in this range really easily. So while 30 is a local bottom, because that's where gamma bottoms out, like it's very easy for it to move down to 20, like continue down to 20. Breaking Trump tariffs on Japan are an option. Oh shit. I don't even think they're an option. They might be a necessity. I want you guys to answer this, and I'm going to do a poll because I've been feeling really self-conscious about it lately. Oh wait, that's not a poll. Stupid. I'd hit it. Thanks, JC. Hmm. Hold on, I gotta check something. Options are so much. Do you want it to? No. These new screens scare me. Let me go back to my Yahoo Finance printouts. Kirk, you're a handsome guy. Leave the molesta stash. Thanks, wrongly rightish. I tagged you in Discord. If it's a picture of that guy from Wild Wild West in the wheelchair, I'm gonna be really angry at you. Especially if I'm not face swapped onto it. It's handsome regardless of your evil leanings. Thank you, Jen Jen. Or Jafar Aladdin. Prick. BTU at 16 is really enticing. Why am I wrong? You're not. I mean, it's just it's just risky because of the China situation right now. Thanks, Hamburglar Helper. That's what I was going for. Hey, Greg, how do I choose a profitable put position? Also, could you clarify what you mean when you keep saying strike? God damn it. Strike is the price at which the options contracts are open, and you just sell the put if you're profitable. Can you talk about what happens to the yen and the carry trade if Trump specifically targets for Japan for tariffs? Oh, that's good. That's dollar up against the yen, widens the spread. Did I accidentally send a member chat? Maybe? You have to shave the beard and show us the stash to get an accurate measure? Huh. You can also hold the put until it becomes unprofitable too. How choose profitable put? Um, buy one and then hope the thing goes down. The largest. How many contracts did you say you trade per day on average? Like zero DTEs or like total? Define profitable. Worth more than you paid for it. You guys are trying to vex me. Well, it's not going to work. I'm very jolly today. What are the chances we stay stagnant for the rest of the day? Decent, actually. Trading between like 60, 40, and 30. I'd want to see more support built up around 20, 25. But frequently you can end up in like a negative gamma rut where like you fall to the deepest point of negative gamma on the intraday and then you just sit there because over time it becomes harder and harder to climb out of it. And that's the effect of gamma increasing with the passage of time. So like right now, the upside gamma from 60-40 to 60-45 is a change of, what is that, -9 billion, about -4 billion. So positive 4 billion move from 40 to 45. But by the end of the day, that could be like, you know, 15 billion, 20 billion, which is significantly more resistive. And we also have charm to contend with here. A lot of these puts that are in the money are sold. They will be decaying to 1 delta. So right now they're not. They're like if we look at the sold 50s, sold 45s. The delta on those is like 0.64, 0.58. But as we approach the end of the day, yeah, it's too early to consider charm. You really want to look at that. It's not too early to consider it because we had such a big drop. So there is an effect already, because so much of the charm shifted negative. Um, but it will accelerate as we move towards close, especially if we're still trading down here. Yeah, while everyone's contracts bleed out. I haven't gone through a do-rag phase. Did you answer my question on if you were going by CEO, president, or founder? All three. It's a very long business card. I just want to say you're the closest thing to a living saint I've ever encountered, and I've met the Pope on several occasions. Helping retards is the Lord's work. I just love doing it. GS saved me 15% of my auto insurance in just 15 minutes. Another satisfied customer. Add this to the testimonials. Thanks, GS. Saved. Was that a knock? 1 second.
Someone put their pickle in my jar. What's your expectation for Monday open? The bears want another gap down, are traumatized of a hard gap up, and the paws who don't have theta are scared of flat. How would you approach? What's your thoughts on weekend positioning RN? 3.
say. I just signed up for Gamma Strike, and wow, I waited so I could pay full price because discounts are for poors. Cheers, proud of you in the Quantarinos. Happy Friday. How the fuck do I use this? All right. Well, you can start with the last 6 round tables, and we'll have documentation out this weekend. You're actually insane. Thank you so much, man. You know I'm not gonna watch that. Well, then just ask me questions and I'll answer them. Mr. Ko-Fi. Someone put their pickle. Hold on. What's your expectation for Monday open? The Bears want another gap down or traumatized of a hard gap up, and the poors who don't have theta are scared of flat. How would you approach what's your thoughts on weekend positioning right now? Well, we're going to get more news probably over the weekend about Trump's tariff intentions. Obviously, those are bearish. Um, if if we get, mostly bearish news during the weekend session when things can't be priced in, you can generally assume that you're gonna see a big move in futures come Monday. Um, I would predicate a lot of that based on whether or not we close below GN, below DN. In the range we're in, things are volatile but fairly neutral. Right, we're just under gamma neutral. We're just above delta neutral, which kind of has an offsetting effect. Um, and the presumed price action, if nothing were to happen, would be kind of flat over the weekend. Um, but I would say that maybe if you want to play the outside of that potential range, should we gap up or down, maybe like an inverse condor would be an option. Something like maybe where do they have those? So you can play something like this. Where if we do get a big like 0.5 move up or down, you have exposure. But your total debit isn't that insane. So this is a good way of straddling, especially when IV is kind of high or strangling. But this could also be a good way of hedging off potential price action that's an unknown. Because even if you get a very small move, you lose very little money on Monday. Like a drop in IV can hurt a little, but like $100, it's not going to like devastate you. But for the most part, the position's going to stay fairly flat on Monday. Which if nothing happens, you can just close it. But if something crazy happens, and you get like a big 2% move or something like that, you profit on the outer edges of that move, and more so the more it moves. So if you get like, say we get a 2% move, you really make quite a bit. Yeah, you're capped. But you can toy with that, right? Like if you want additional downside exposure and you're just super fucking bearish, you can like toss a couple like puts down here, right? That cost very little. And then, you're still profitable to the upside
Someone put their
on a
pickle
big
in my
move up,
jar,
but
certain a
you're way
degenerate
more
who just got his
profitable
bonus.
on a
How
big
do I
move
play the
down.
week in 3?
Loses 50% over the weekend if flat. Well, if I get rid of these, it doesn't. Loses about 20%. 50% by the end of day. 38% by end of day if flat. It's make your own convexity craft hour with host Gherkin. So I'm a degenerate who just got his bonus. How do I play the weekend? We're kind of talking about that right now. You could also do a butterfly, and you can narrow that loss over the weekend. So then, Monday you'd only lose like 20% in the early part of the day. I guess that would be a better spot to put it. But on a outsized move to the, downside, you make, 10-15%. The more you lever that up, the more you can make off of an outsized move, but you lose less. Like if you just straight straddle, right? Look, this is gross, and vol drops, you're gonna actually lose 50%. So you shave off a potential 30% loss. I don't know. That seems worthwhile to me. GS is not a brokerage. Popcorn. Wow, you guys are really split on the mustache, but I'm gonna take the compliment and end the poll. I hope the stream has 287 likes. That'd be cool. Because you guys would totally do that like every day, right? No. Shh, Willie. Shh. Thanks, Dave. Your legs do not have convexity yet. I just spoken. Lawrence gave us the play-by-play, but he's also doing a joint conference with Japanese PM in a few. Jesus. Thanks for all you do for us. Trying to show my appreciation to you with a YouTube thumbnail idea in your Discord DM. Oh, thank you. I'm pretty sure I can't use that word on Discord, but I will share it with the I have a GIF of that also with my face on it. Let's see if I can find that. Squamps, thank you so much. Welcome to Cornishon, Tan Man. Like the stream, the 80 of you, you have no excuse. You aren't so much looking like a supervillain as you are a truck driver. Thanks, Popcorn. That's what I was going for, too, so I'm glad you noticed. That's okay, Alpha Beans. Thank you. Does SPX still look bearish? Any in the money put selling accumulating? Let me look. I have like 80 things open right now. Yeah, there's a lot of in the money put selling. There's still in the money puts that are sold. There's some calls bought at 55.60. So far, we haven't been able to climb the hump above like 45 to get out to those. And then downside moves seem fairly well supported at 30. But if there's any negative news at all here, we can slide down through those puts. And remember, any rejection, the MM's gonna sell that. So, I would say if we get over 45 here, 50, 45 and 50, because they're kind of flat, then a move to the upside is a little more likely. Although it's going to, like, even if we do make that move, it's quite hard to get above like 65, 70. But yeah, I'd keep an eye on that. Things still look mostly like bullish, like accumulation. We still have, like, Delta's kind of flattened out now here. But Gamma's still kind of declining. Gamma curve, same as roller coaster. Kind of, yeah. That's a good way to think of it. Or, like gravity. Planet, like if you think about like planetary gravity and how that would affect like an object moving around the planet or past the planet. And spots like that, like little rocket ship. Fuck, I'm not a nerd. I look like a young jolly Saint Nick. I need to lose some weight. Thanks, man. I'm a big tummy, about to have a big tummy. Japanese curry incoming. What, did you mean I'm a big tummy about to have a big yummy? I've always had this. No way. Are you sure? I can't shave. It makes me look like I'm 12 years old. You're a big nerd and you know it. Trying to explain three body problem to regards. I know. I want to see 20 something Gherk. I already showed you guys 3-year-old Gherk. That's great. You'll attract younger women. By looking younger? What world do you live in? But you didn't see baby Gherk? We could explain the three body problem. It wouldn't be a problem anymore, and thruples would be solved. Thruples will never be solved. Ooh, bullish breakout. And we got above 50, so quite bullish. Keep going. See? Look, it all worked. How we thought it would. It's crazy, right? I never should have described this as a data platform. I should have just called it Centaur Magic. I mean, these are getting more out of the money positioning than in the money positioning. So Delta's going to move down on like in the money sold puts. So when people are like back here, people are selling puts at like the 50, 55, 45, right? And so delta is moving down because more delta is being added near spot, which is to the downside of the 0 point. And then this like shifting gamma that starts here, where gamma continues to go down, but like delta. Eh, hold on, I'll just adjust this after. This shifts down, and delta starts to flatten out. There we go. That means that you're getting more like out of the money bullish positioning that has high delta. So slick, so juicy. Yeah. So like, back here I was like, when we were down here testing DN, I was like, oh, this is pretty bullish that we're getting these 0 points moving down towards spot. And then had you recognized that and gone long literally anywhere in here, you would be up right now. It is 1269. I will say though, the fact that delta is now moving away from spot means we're probably going to find some resistance here and fail. It'll be quite hard to push through this. No, but I mean, we have a pretty easy path back to 40, right? I mean, Delta just falls off to the downside here, like just straight down. It's Ni2, not Nito. Yeah, we know that. What do you mean by 0 points? The flips? These? These make some assumptions, but because they're volume based. But these are basically, we're saying the MM's exposure to the ascribed Greek is 0 at X price. The gamma symbol looks like it was written by Michael J. Fox. Why don't you blow it out your asshole, dork? The MM wants the SPX to close between GN and DN? No, no. The MM will hedge any deviation from their 0 point. But at their 0 point, they do very little. On really slow days, sure. Yeah, you can end up closing at the 0 point, but that's not really pertinent. The MM is most likely to close where gamma is the lowest relative to spot as we approach close. So here, for instance, right? There's like almost like gamma's pretty flat right at like 55. And then, high at 70 and high at 40. Although, this is negative, this is positive. And so, on upside tests of 70, you're likely to fail. Downside tests of 40, you're likely to bounce. Which, and as price contracts, that kind of gives you an idea of where close could be. But that's relative to where you are positionally, right? So if we move up, there's like another, like say we moved up towards 6100, there's a pocket here that could be closed in. Or if we move down, there's like a pocket right here that we could close in. These are places where price gets easily trapped. And remember, like I said earlier, as you move into close, gamma expands. So the gamma on these strikes that are like support and resistance will continue to move up as you approach close, and they can get to a point where they become insurmountable. Like it's too hard to move the price out of those, and the price will just ping pong back and forth until the end of day. Nice, Cam. The neutral points are based on an OI across the entire chain for that contract. So like, like the SPX weekly contract, SPX monthly contract, or the contracts on individual equities. It's the entire chain, and we're looking at the OI every night on the entire chain to find the neutral point for the MM's hedge. No, they shouldn't spread apart. They should actually narrow as gamma expands. You can see in that bottom right green line going into end of day. Yeah, you'll see this move up really, really fast as we approach the end of day. So that line is like this is your gamma at each strike. Like how much gamma each strike actually has. And as we move into the end of the day, this is gonna rocket up like that relative to spot and moneyness. Yeah, it'll go full peener mode. Tested gamma neutral on the monthly. As a visual learner, this information is priceless to me. Happy to help. Oh, just so you guys know, I'm out of here in like 15 minutes. Can you leave GS up? No, because I'm not going to be home. But mm, yeah, I'm not going to be home, so I won't be able to. I don't think I'll be able to end the stream. Um, Give your opinion on what SPX will do the rest of the day. I think if we get back above GN, we'll probably move up. It looks kind of like we're failing here. I don't have the screen open, so sorry, it's not updating. But yeah, I would say if we don't get back above gamma neutral, we'll probably stay towards the bearish side, 60, 50 to 40, with a chance to maybe slip lower into end of day. If we get back above gamma neutral, we could probably push out to like 75, 80, 70, 75, 80, around there on the upside. So I would say that, those would be the extremes. Oh wait, hold on. Those would be the extremes. And then only if we break out of this one way or the other. So either above GN or below, fall below 40. So above GN 75, 80, below 40, 35, 30. It's still very early to tell, but that's kind of what it looks like. Also, there's probably going to be more news today, and that could impact things. I mean, far beyond my current expectations. Most likely flat rest of the day. Yeah, if there's no news or anything, it's really probable that we just kind of trade in this range. Like, move to the upside, move back to the downside. Chopping, kind of ping-ponging between those two levels as they get more and more resistive and supportive over time. Because remember, as we get closer to close, the sold options positions are going to kind of clamp down on spot, which narrows the potential range for price action. Yeah, I know. Trump's getting ready to speak to the PM of Japan, which is going to be like a whole thing. So there's definitely stuff that can come up that could drive shit lower. But I would say GN bullish, DN bearish in that case. Which, is your 58, 56 level and your 30. Is it safer for someone with less experience to do longer dated contracts? Usually, yeah. You get a lot more opportunities to get out of them. I would use GS for longer dated strategies rather than 0 DTE. I'd be looking at the overnight data. So I'd be looking at, the Greek neutrals. A lot of the stuff I'm explaining now is also, for 0 DTEs is additionally applicable out here. So, like cross of delta neutral to the upside, I would go long. A break of delta neutral or gamma neutral to the downside, I would go short. It's not too different, right? Don't forget to play the hype vid again. All right. Oh. Whoops. So fucking hot. Yeah. I didn't make the ad. One of the marketing guys did. Did you use your phone and record the screen to get that effect? No. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it. Really dig the Miami Vice Vaporwave aesthetic. So do we. Welcome to Dillionaire JB525. Hit me up on the Discord. I'll get you added after the stream. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I know. I gotta go. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm not really going to be around the rest of today, but I'll try to answer questions on the Discord when I get a chance. If you have any about Gamma Strike, if you have any concerns with like customer service or technical issues, you can tag any of us like on the mod team, and we'll try to help you out. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you later.